injury that went gangrene or something is what I always heard. But
there was a copper wire that was found in one of his boots, and it was found because when he put them on, it hurt. He took them off right away, and one of his friends got to looking at the boot, and there was a copper wire sticking out where the big toe.
Man.
And it was believed that wire had been treated chemically with a carcinogenic toxin.
Fast-acting cancer.
And he died of cancer in time. Peter Tosh's death, another Jamaican artist with a strong political conscience. He was, his murder is very suspicious.
Died September 11th, 1987.
Yeah, September 11th makes it even more suspicious. And, of course, there's John Lennon. We've talked about that extensively, and I have that comic strip on my website, Dead Silence in the Brain. But there's even more on Lennon's murder that indicates it was likely a government hit than I could possibly have included in that comic strip. And even in the list of links, there is so much on that, and you can fill in so many of these blanks with this book I'm talking about, Covert War on Rock. The Colby name turns up again in the O.J. Simpson case.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, O.J.
Because it turns out that Colby's ex-wife lived next door. She testified in the Simpson trial. She had heard something that night or something. Anyway.
Wow. All right. We'll be right back after these messages.
We're going to have a rumble tonight. We're going to kick some major police state butt.
Oh, I'm getting low on supplies for the police state drinking game.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us on PsiOp Radio Live via American Freedom Radio. And here's an article from original.antiwar.com. New York terror detainee and draconian conditions. Surprise! This talks about the closing of Guantanamo Bay, but it's also pointing out the fact that American prison systems are pretty corrupt and unhealthy and bad. And
they have torture in American prisons. They let the other prisoners torture you there.
But this one thing here, though, man, says the Department of Justice and its Bureau of Prisons say 6 people, 4 charged with terror-related crimes, are currently being held under the SAMS rule, but one case appears to be attracting increasing attention. And this is just sick and horrible and disgusting. This is the case of Syed Hashmi, a 29-year-old Pakistani immigrant and U.S. citizen who grew up in Queens, New York, and who has been held in solitary confinement in a federal prison in New York City for more than 2 years while he awaits trial on charges of providing material support to Al-Qaeda. Hashmi, a Muslim, is on a 23-hour solitary confinement lockdown and 24-hour surveillance, including when he showers and goes to the bathroom. The descriptions of his living conditions here are to me really horrific, and
and no
he's an American citizen.
Yeah.
Okay, if he's guilty of what they're accusing him of, fine. When he finally gets convicted and goes to prison, that's when the punishment's supposed to start. But this is punishment, and they're basically saying, like in so many cases, this isolation torture has caused him to pretty much go damn near insane.
Under the Patriot Act, they can do this kind of thing.
This other weird article and video that's been reported on both the Washington Post and MSNBC, 9/11 planner is recast as key asset for CIA. Mohammed gave terrorist tutorials after waterboarding and sleep deprivation. This is really, really weird and creepy. And I honestly, part of me is just screaming, this is not just PsiOp of, this guy probably has been a double, triple agent for us, and the idea that he was the mastermind seems largely laughable, to me. But what's really creepy here is they go on to say apparently after they broke him, he basically started helping give terrorist tutorials where he would describe these in-depth lectures on the structure of Al-Qaeda. Now, if he was a double or triple operative, that makes a lot of sense to me. But what it really strikes me is that at the heart here, it's getting us used to this idea of he committed thought crime for being a terrorist, and he was broken, and now he's working.
And now he's a good guy.
He's a good guy working for that.
That's how this is being presented. It's being presented as evidence that waterboarding is good. And quoting one former senior intelligence official, what do you think changed this guy's mind? Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, KSM they called him. What do you think changed KSM's mind? One former senior intelligence official said this week after being asked about the effect of waterboarding, of course, it began with that. Oh, then torture must be good, okay? But it goes on to talk here in this article how Mohammed, in statements to the International Committee of the Red Cross, said some of the information he provided was untrue. During the harshest period of my interrogation, I gave a lot of false information in order to satisfy what I believe the interrogators wished to hear in order to make the ill treatment stop. I later told interrogators that their methods were stupid and counterproductive. I shared that the false information I was forced to invent in order to make the ill treatment stop wasted a lot of their time. So basically he was conducting these classes, it sounds like, with a chalkboard and everything, and he would even reprimand
his pupils for not taking notes.
Not taking notes, and basically he was just filling their heads with a lot of garbage. It was just a charade.
Well, that could be one of the interpretations of that. Here is the video from MSNBC that's even stranger because it does seem to have somewhat of an anti-torture message. And they trot out, the brother, I believe, of a 9/11 victim, and he's obviously going to go rah, 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 torture, kill, whatever. But he has some interesting things to say, too. So I want to play this. Hold on. Here we go. It's from MSNBC. Perhaps.
Now, in today's close-up, the alleged mastermind of the 9/11 attacks is heard on tape in English claiming he was tortured.
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed says he lied because he wanted the harsh treatment.
Oh, come on. Hello, computer.
Torture to stop. And seen here, both after his capture and with the long beard during a military tribunal at Guantanamo Bay in March of 2007, Mohammed was asked if he wanted to change anything he said in his original testimony, and this is his response.
I said, I'm enemy combatant. I did it or not, 9/11 or others. But there are many detainees which you will receive classified against them. Maybe they did not take from me. For many detainees, false witnesses.
Matthew Alexander is a former senior interrogator for the U.S. military who led the interrogation team that found Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, and he's also the author of How to Break a Terrorist. Karen Greenberg is executive director for the Center on Law and Security at New York University. She is the author of The Least Worst Place, Guantanamo's First 100 Days. And Jim Riches is the deputy chief of the New York City Fire Department. His son Jimmy was one of the firefighters killed in the attacks of 9/11. Jim is in Washington, where he attended a Department of Justice hearing on Guantanamo Bay detainees. Thank you all for joining us, an incredible panel of people. Matthew, I would like to start off with you. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed saying he made things up. Does this then end the debate of whether you get accurate or reliable information when people are tortured?
Well, I think as an experienced interrogator, there never was a debate. I know, like any experienced interrogator does, that if you use coercive techniques, what you're shooting for is the minimum amount of information that detainee is going to give to make the torture or the pain stop. And that information is always going to be suspect in terms of accuracy. My team and I, we used relationship building approaches. We relied on cooperation versus coercion. And the information we received turned out to be highly accurate very complete and led to Abu Musab al-Zarqawi.
Karen, let me bring you in on this. Some of the other things that colleague Sheikh Mohammed said.